جزيلا على حضوركم هذا الصباح بيننا. حضوركم رسالة ندركها نفهم معناها ونقدرها تقديرا كبيرا. نحن المسؤولون عن السياحة في هذه المنطقة وفي العالم نشكرك شكرا جزيلا على وجودك بيننا هذا الصباح. معي الأخ والصديق وزير السياحة جمال نورة، صداقتكم سوف تدوم إن شاء الله. في أقل من 24 ساعة أصبحنا أصدقاء وأصبحت صديقا لكل زميل أخت وأخ هنا بيننا من هذه القارة الهامة وهذه القارة العظيمة. Minister Barahamo, it's a pleasure to see you again chairing this group. Thank you for taking the trouble and being with us. We appreciate your presence with us and thank you for your warm and kind words. سيد والي تونس، أهلا بك، نرحب بك ونترقب دعمك لهذا القطاع الهام. السادة الوزراء, dear ministers, sisters and brothers, ladies and gentlemen, Taieb والسادة, welcome to Tunis, that lends literally, as the minister said, its name, historical name, to the entire of Africa. It embraces everybody. It's been a hub and a center for welcome and hospitality throughout history. The current events in Tunis are events that we are watching with great interest and excitement. And I must say, on the behalf of many of us here, with great, great admiration. The ability of the Tunisian people and their strong civil society to go through these very difficult times and prevail as a nation that cares for itself and steps very confidently towards the future is a source of admiration. And they must count on our support, and that's exactly why we're here, because we expect them to take their proper place in the world today, and they are very confidently moving in that direction. Mr. Gamra, you and your team have guaranteed already the success of this meeting. Tunis is a very important member of UNWTO and the international community, and has been, with the strength of its people, always very active in the international field. I had the pleasure and the honor of being in Tunis 3 times after the revolution. That is not coincidental. I was here last March, April. I met with the President, I met with all the high authorities, the Minister, the Speaker of the Parliament, and they enlisted in signing the Golden Book that many of your countries here have already joined in as a sign of commitment to this wonderful industry called tourism. Last year, here in the island of Jerba, an icon of tourism, we held the first Mediterranean meeting which had paved the ground for further activities around this wonderful great lake called the Mediterranean. Tunis has also been able to achieve a remarkable recovery after the setback referred to by the minister, which is very understandable, but the recovery was very impressive. In 2012, already Tunis is back almost on track. Our forecast in the UNWTO research is indicating that by the end of 2013, Tunis will go back to the average rates of 2010, receiving more than 7 million international tourists per year. That puts it in the first 3 highest recipients in the African continent. Receipts are also on the rise. This is all good news for Tunis, for tourism, but tourism is to be seen as part of the solution and the promise for a better Tunis and better Africa for the future. Yesterday, I had the pleasure of the honor of meeting the Honorable Prime Minister, and I came out of the meeting much more confident and much more assured about the commitment that this country has to the tourism industry, a peace builder and an economic builder, and a wonderful human activity in the 21st century. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to say a few words on where is world tourism heading and touch after that a little bit on the theme of our meeting that will be commencing immediately after this opening on Africa and the role of Africa where it stands. The global scene has been a confused scene. The world has not and is not still living easy times. Our neighbors to the north, the Europeans, are facing one of the most serious crises that the generation has ever faced. That is important to us because Europe still represents almost 50% of world outbound and inbound tourism. We should be concerned, but we should also be reassured by the fact that our continent, Africa, is heading and moving in the right direction. But in spite of economic difficulties, political challenges, natural and man-made crises, world tourism passed a historic mark in 2012. 1,035 million international tourists crossed borders, crossed international borders in 1 year. This is unprecedented. This is by all means a human revolution. People are moving around the world, defying all artificial barriers and constituting one of the major transformations in mankind activity. As a matter of fact, we like in UNWTO to say that there are three major transformations that are shaping the world of today. One is the IT and communication revolution that has changed the way we live, the way we talk, the way we communicate, and the way we think. Two is the urban revolution of migration. People are becoming more and more urbanized, more and more sophisticated. More than 50% of the people of the world are living in cities. But three, we're experiencing a travel revolution, where there is absolutely no place under the sun that has escaped the curiosity of visitors. Any place you want to go to, you can be taken there in 36, 48 hours, and you will find a smiling face to receive you. You will find a tour guide that will welcome you. You will find a small cafe, you will find a small restaurant, and you will find a small hotel. This is indeed a 21st century revolution. Our research in UNWTO is forecasting that in the year 2013, there will be a further growth of between 3 to 4%. Africa, on the other hand, is expected to grow higher. It's expected to grow between 4 to 6%. As a matter of fact, the performance of Africa in the last decade has been remarkable, resisting all kinds of economic pressures. With the exception of the year 2011, where the performance of North Africa in particular has affected the entire African continent because of the high percentage of intake into North Africa, the rest of the last decade, including years of economic difficulty, saw a growth in African tourism. Although one must say that occupying less than 5% of world tourism at 52 million, the figure that was registered last year, is still a very modest and still underutilization of the potentials of this great continent. More important, however, than the number of tourists is the fact that only 3% of world expenditure in tourism is spent in Africa. That is an issue that we need to reverse, and that's exactly why our meeting today at this junction in time is very important. My dear friends, tourism today is employing 1 out of 11 of the people of the world. It's the third largest industry in the world, with more than 9% of world GDP. It is an industry that can move things to the better if we utilize it in the right way. Supporting tourism is therefore supporting economic growth, jobs creation, and opportunities for development. That means a lot for Africa. And Africa must move ahead. Africa must improve its infrastructure. Financing and funding must be found to improve the infrastructures, roads, airports, and all kind of hospitality connected and transport connected infrastructure. 2. Africa must improve its connectivity. It is absolutely unacceptable that two neighboring countries like Cameroon or Benin or Nigeria and Ghana will have to travel to Europe to come back to their own country. The intensity of the air connection, the connection between two countries is a must that we must overcome. 3. We must improve our visa facilitation and our internal movement. This is a challenge that we cannot anymore accept to live because it is in our hands. It is not out of our control. We can, if the political will exists, lift and remove all visa barriers between all African countries and make movement the rule of the game. 4. We must utilize modern technologies to maximize marketing and services. We are behind in connecting to the rest of the world and utilizing this wonderful tool called the IT technology of today. All these 4 challenges are what I hope will be discussed in the day and 2 to come. Ladies and gentlemen, we are committed in UNWTO to continue to support you, and we will be on your side. Africa is our future. These are words that we need to translate into deeds. This conference that will proceed after the Commission meeting of today, current challenges and issues of African tourism, what solutions can be adopted, must be used as a cornerstone, and I hope that a clear roadmap will result out of that. This is a joint event where our Africa program that I'm very proud of, led by our very good, one of our own, Usman Indiari and his team, and our affiliate members will be leading in the day to come tomorrow. Ladies and gentlemen, in conclusion, I have tried to list some of the challenges that are ahead in presenting tourism as part of the solution and never part of the problem. But I cannot end my presentation without making reference to one of the most important historic events that will take place later this year at the end of August. The 20th session of the General Assembly of the UNWTO, that takes place once a year, is taking place for the first time ever in the southern part of Africa, Victoria Falls. I welcome the presence of the Honorable Minister of Tourism of Zambia. Zambia and Zimbabwe are hosting this General Assembly in the name of Africa. And I would sincerely hope that you consider this an African meeting, an African demonstration, and an African event. Without that, we will not be presenting ourselves to the world in any serious manner. Let's work hand in hand, support our friends, sisters and brothers in Zambia and Zimbabwe to make this event a resounding success. The mighty Victoria Falls are awaiting all of us. Help us make it big and important. My dear friends, Mr. Prime Minister, thank you once again for being with us. Tunis will always be in our hearts, and Tunis will always be the place that we all come, enjoy and meet in. But at the end, on a much lighter note, get out of these rooms whenever you have the chance. Enjoy the country, enjoy the people, enjoy Tunis, and if I can say, contribute to the national economy as well. Thank you.